Going to be a big week for data, I'm afraid. Lots happening out there, particularly in the US. And we've got plenty of data during the week, a lot of ISM data, which will give us a good read on what the economy's going. And then we got jobs data towards the close. Now, that's going to be quite interesting. Over in Europe, the economy's not going that well. We'll talk a little bit about that. The euro is, in fact, the worst performing currency of the G10. Bit of an issue there. Some good positive stuff out of China in terms of some economic numbers there, the MBS numbers. But first of all, let's have a look at what's happening in the US. US equity markets continue to go to record highs. And obviously, corporate America likes Trump. And that's what we think it could probably continue. I think the real issue here is the inflationary side of this. And we'll get a good look at this because this week, apart from a lot of ISM data that we get out of the States, we also get the Fed's Beige book as well. Not only that, unemployment towards the on Friday. But I do get a sense that the market, as investors, they always tend to get ahead of themselves a little bit. So let's see what happens. Remember last month's employment data was not that positive. This month's is not going to be that positive, although the market's expecting it. And I think this is a little bit different. Non-farm payrolls are expected to be up around about 12,000, which is small, considering normally around about that 80 plus. And I think as a result of that, because where expectations are low, it might be buy the rumor, sell the fact type of scenario. But it is a concern, and I think if anything there, we've just got to be close to it. But the ISM data is actually showing confidence within the US economy and confidence within Trump. And to me, that's a big move. And those equity markets can continue. So anyway, let's see what happens in the US there. As I mentioned, we've got ECB President Lagarde coming out and talking about the ECB, the zone there in terms of what we actually expect could occur, in terms of what's happening in Europe. Now, it is the worst performing currency out of G10. Inflation data is starting to rise a little bit, so I do think in Euroland we do have an issue there. I think the market's pretty much divided in terms of whether we go hawkish, neutral or dovish. A lot of people still want more rate cuts, but if inflation's starting to pick up again, then we've got to go to neutral to even hawkish. But the economy is not going that well. It'll be interesting to see what she says, and I think that'll give us a bit of a sight. Remember, the EU and also Britain are not doing that well in terms of in comparison to other economies. As we mentioned in China, great to see some good data there. Great to see MBS over the weekend delivered some good manufacturing data. I think that was very positive. I think that was a real good step. It was actually telling us that the PBOC policy, which was put in September to help lift the economy, is actually starting to work. And let's see, we get another read like this, then we can say, well, okay, maybe China has turned around a little bit. Remember, there are still a lot of headwinds over in that Chinese economy, namely on the real estate side, and that's holding it back. There's no doubt about that. So let's see what happens on that front. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click like to inspire you to take trading actions.